Okay, hello people. This is the second part of my first video, which was called Messiah Explains the Apocalypse for Everybody, or for all. And I had just gotten to this point here where I was explaining about why I'm using the 666, which is a Christian omen of the apocalypse, why I'm using that against the Antichrist, Obama, even though I'm a Buddhist. So that I'm explaining that because in our Buddhist Kalachakra Apocalypse tradition, which I talked about in the other video, it says that the demon king, this Antichrist, will be a person who has a tradition which is mixed with Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. And I showed you the page where it talked about that. I didn't blow that up so much. I'm going to blow that up for you people. This is what I showed on the other video. So I'm going to blow it up so you people can read that exactly like me. Here, Krinmadi. His name is Krinmadi. That's the name of the Antichrist in Buddhist Kalachakra prophecy. This Krinmadi's faith is of following origin, with 8 great teachers here. You see here, 8 great teachers. So that I had said Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Mani, Muhammad, and Mahdi. So the 4 first ones, Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, are Jewish. Jesus is Christian. Mani is Manichaeistic religion, which is a mix of Zoroastrianism and it's a mix of Christianity and Buddhism too, and also Greek religion. So it's like a composite. It's not composite. I mean, it's his religion, which was a religion in Persia, in Iran today. Okay, and then Muhammad and Mahdi. So okay, so basically, I mean, excluding Mani, who has these maybe Buddhist influences in it, all the others are either Jewish, Christian, or Muslim. And this is a text of the prophecy of Kalachakra, which goes back to it was written in the late 13th century. So I mean, this was way after Christianity and Islam. Islam was like in the 6th century. So this prophecy is way afterwards. Kalachakra is a very recent prophecy. So that's interesting. Now, there's a little description here about the Armageddon and the apocalypse. It says here, I'm going to read that, from their capital in Delhi, their king. This is talking about the forces of the unbelievers, the non-believers. Their king Krinmadi will attempt the conquest of Shambhala, right? Shambhala. I'm like king of Shambhala in 2424 after death. But that we cannot rely on this date of 2424 because that date is established by lining up the names of the kings of Shambhala. And it's approximate because the kings of Shambhala go back towards before Buddha, and also the kings of Shambhala follow a doctrine of a god, a deity, which is called Kalachakra. And the dating of Kalachakra is very improbable. It's not possible to date it correctly because of the line of masters of Kalachakra have a lot of pseudonyms, double. They repeat the same. They are different names for the same person. So if it's the same with the kings of Shambhala, well then it's very improbable. So the date of 2424 is very. I mean, you have to take that with a pinch of salt because the prophecies of Shambhala, it's like with the Christian prophecies. Like for the apocalypse, it says in the Bible, nobody can say the day or the hour. And to say it's going to be exactly in the year 2424 is just, that's just taking that number out of a hat. It's not. It's not scientific, and it can't be established in any kind of scientific or logical way. So, I mean, generally, I have to say, the apocalypse for the Buddhists, just like for the Christians, will know when it's the moment. I'm saying it can be now. It's definitely be now because of Obama and number 666, which I talked about, which is marking him. Okay, so I'm going to go on now. The commentaries suggest that Krin Mahdi will be recognized as the Messiah Mahdi, right? He's going to be recognized as the fake Messiah, right? Like the Muslim, he's going to be recognized as the Muslim Mahdi. The 25th Kalki, Rudra Chakran, that's me, will then invade India and defeat the non-Indics in a great war. His victory will mark the end of the Kali Yuga, the age of disputes, during which Dharma practice will degenerate. So, I'm going to backtrack. The king Krin Mahdi is in India, right? And he goes up to Shambhala. Shambhala is to the west of Tibet, so he'd have to go up through Pakistan and up towards Afghanistan and to invade the kingdom of Shambhala. But me, the king of Shambhala, I'm up there in Shambhala, and I go down through Pakistan to India, and I invade India, and I defeat this king Krin Mahdi, the Antichrist. So what they're saying is that this kingdom of Shambhala is like up north, and these southerners want to go up and invade it. And that's very exactly what we're seeing with Obama, because Obama is like an African, right? That's way down south. And he wants to take over messiahhood. He wants to be the Messiah. So he wants to destroy Shambhala. Shambhala is we defend faith. We have faith. We're believers. Whereas this king Krin Mahdi, he's evil. He believes in killing people, slandering, lying, dishonesty. He's a liar. He's a thief, you know. And the king of Shambhala defends virtue and goodness. So I want to go very quickly now into talk about something which is the destruction of Islam. Islam, you people have all heard about the caliphate. The Muslims are always talking about the caliphate and the caliph, you know, who's the Muslim king in the 13th century, and the caliphate and the caliph were destroyed. Baghdad was destroyed, completely destroyed to the ground, and the person who destroyed him was a Buddhist. It's this guy here. We're looking at the siege of Baghdad in 1258, okay? And you see, the Kalachakra Apocalypse Prophecy was written in 1320, like 50 years after this destruction. So this place was destroyed, and 50 years later they wrote the apocalypse of the Buddhist apocalypse of Kalachakra, which is what I base my prophecy on. So what happened in Baghdad? You had this Khan, Hulagu, who was the grandfather of Genghis Khan. It was the grandfather of Genghis Khan. He walked on Baghdad and he destroyed it. So I'm going to... So I'm going to go to this page here, with this paragraph, which is called Destruction. So many historical accounts details the cruelties of the Mongol conquerors. So this Mongol conqueror, Hulagu, he completely destroyed it. So the Grand Library of Baghdad was destroyed, and now citizens attempted here the destruction. We're talking about the destruction here. Citizens attempted to flee, but were intercepted by Mongol soldiers who killed in abundance. Martin Sicker writes that close to 90,000 people may have died. Other estimates go much higher. Wasef claims the loss of life was several 100,000. Ian Fraser of the New Yorker says estimates of the death toll have ranged from 200,000 to 1 million. Now, you have to realize that this is the greatest massacre of the history of humanity, because this was in 1258, and the population of the world was 50 times less. So if you multiply, if you take any of this estimates, if you take an estimate, for example, here this guy says 200,000 to a million, let's say 500,000, 500,000, you multiply that by 50, and then you get to 25 million, right? 25 million people killed during 1 week of massacre. It's crazy. That's just crazy. I mean, it could be between 25 million and 50 million. I mean, it's crazy. The massacre, this massacre, it's crazy. Now, who suffered the brunt of this? It's Islam. It's because it's the Caliph of Baghdad. So this is the total destruction of Islam. So what's happening today? This Hulagu Khan was a Buddhist, and he was converted to Tibetan Buddhism, and the sect which was in power and who had gained power at the time of Hulagu, and who were actually his religious gurus, his spiritual chiefs, they were a sect called the Sakya sect. You know, here I can write that Sakya. Here you can see here Sakya. That's how you write that, Sakya. The Sakya sect is a sect who are the propagators of the Kalachakra doctrine, and they're the sect that wrote the Kalachakra prophecy after this Baghdad destruction. So this Hulagu Khan was actually following the sect that practices this Kalachakra deity. So after his victory and his destruction of Baghdad, they wrote this massive prophecy about the end of the world, which is based on Kalachakra. So, so this is all, you know, this is, you know, we're going from point A to point B, but it's all in the sequence. The sequence is there, that you have this, the Kalachakra prophecy is the consequence of the events which were happening at that time. Because in the Kalachakra teaching and in the prophecy, it's as if they were talking about this thing. But it's as if they're announcing that the same thing will happen in the future. In the Kalachakra prophecy, it looks like they're talking about something that's already happened, but it looks like they're talking about something that's going to happen again, like history repeating itself. So anyways, let me get back to my article now, because, so I said, yeah, so logically, I'm using Christian omens to defeat the demon king, because his tradition, Christianity, speaks about 666. Now you people will think, hey, what does that have to do with what this guy just said? Well, in the Kalachakra prophecy, it says that the future Antichrist will be Christian and Muslim and Jewish. And so, being like king of Shambhala, and practicing the Kalachakra, the prophecy tells me that I have to look at Christianity to discover this Antichrist. I didn't know that to begin with. I woke up to that when I saw this 666 miracle. Of course, everybody knows about 666, but I didn't know anything about Christianity. And it's also after I discovered the 666 mark on Obama, I decided to go back to my Kalachakra tradition to see if that was, that it confirmed. I was looking for a confirmation. And I was so surprised that it said, yeah, the Antichrist will be a Christian. So it all linked together perfectly. I mean, it's seamless. It's seamless. It's perfect. So anyways, now I talked about this Kalachakra having this connection with the destruction of Baghdad. So it all comes together when I talk to Tibetans. When I explain to Tibetans that the demon king announced by our Buddhist Kalachakra tradition is defeated by revealing a lottery draw of 666. I mean, the Tibetans, you know, they say, hey, you know, what is this, you know? What is this stuff? First, the Tibetans don't know anything about 666. They never heard of it. Then you say it comes from a lottery draw, and it tells this guy is the Antichrist, who is the demon king of it. So it gets so convoluted because you're jumping from Christianity to Buddhism and back. And so for Tibetans, this is wow.